this. So I'm recording now, good. Okay. Right, let's leave London behind because we don't need to be watching all this stuff anymore. But yeah, really quite bad. Well, I mean, however you want to view last night, I was just amazed by it. Something quite spectacular. So, actually, just before we get into the Antarctica and the huge Earth, there's one more piece of news, and because it's on my desktop, I'm going to show you it. So, this statue, it's a little cut from a guy reporting on it, but I'll just play you a little. It's only a minute long, but I just want to show you this statue. It was unveiled on December the 11th in New York. December the 11th, 2021. Check it out.
This is Dr. 7. We talk about a sign of the times. We have yet another crazy statue going up in NYC. Last time we were talking about the one around Rockefeller. Now the United Nations has unveiled a statue of a beast that sits just outside of its headquarters in New York City. This is a very bizarre creature. They say it's a mix between a jaguar and an eagle, but many are making reference to the eerie resemblance to the beast of Revelation. And it indeed looks very bizarre. Now, it doesn't 100% match every bit of the description, but it is eerily similar. And it seems to be a trend now that they're putting these types of statues up in NYC. Very eerily. At the same time, across the country, they're taking down our historic statues, and have been. Again, Georgia Guidestones still standing. Everyone going across the country toppling statues that were going against man and society, yet they still stand? Well, now you can see what else is standing here, what they've erected, this beast. Make of it what you will, but that is what it is. This beast sitting outside their headquarters here. Just thought you might want to know. I'm going to leave a link and an image. Join me for the live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And make sure to hit that subscribe button below for more.
Quite an interesting video. Well, I mean video, but I mean those LGBTQRSTW wings. If you look at the way I look at civilization at the moment, this image right now, and we've got the Roman Empire map in the top right corner. You probably can't quite see it because I'm in the corner, but I'm going to put myself back down here actually. So yeah, it's this image of this beast. The image actually, the film, I've actually cropped it, but at the bottom of the film image, there's a big red bar, red barrier, like really glowing red, and it reminds me of Hades. I just cut out the image because it looked better, but yeah, the Beast of Revelations. Even that looks like some sort of, I don't know who that's in the background, but one more piece of news. I thought it was quite interesting, but anyway, that's enough about that. And now we are going to get into the interesting topic, and that is of Antarctica, but also the three operations everybody's forgotten about: Operation Paperclip, Operation Tabarin, Operation Highjump, Operation Fishbowl, Operation Deep Freeze, the Antarctica treaties that never seem to really get talked about much. Everybody just seems to take them as gospel. I just find Antarctica a fascinating subject, and obviously it really links into a lot of Wim's work on the Godvag channel. And we're going to get into that now, and I'm going to just show everybody Wim's work, because it's really, he's done such a good job using Blender, using 3D maps, images of the so-called moon, and his theories in between the reflections between the thermosphere and the magnetosphere, all different spheres surrounding the plasma spheres, essentially, and how was it Himmler? I think it was Himmler, Himmler or Göring from the Nazis. They worshipped the black sun. They were part of the Schwarze Sonne, which is the worship of the black sun. That image right there on the screen right now, what is that on that ice shelf? I find that image fascinating. We're going to go back into that. But Himmler and a lot of the Germans worshipped the black sun. And yeah, it's fascinating when Wim talks about the reflections and how our sun, I'm actually thinking as well, it may actually be a black sun. Like also Plato said from Wim's work, Plato said, when we see shadows, we see things from the real world. That quote might not be exact, but when you see shadows, the shadow you see may not just be a shadow. It may actually be normal light. Do you know what I mean? It's nuts. Black light. And yeah, we're going to look into that today. So yeah, big up to Wim. I think you might watch this, hopefully. Your work is amazing. Truly mind-blowing. So let's watch his first episode. It's actually his second, but it covers kind of both episodes. So this is the introduction to Wim's work. We're going to watch a few episodes, so we're going to just sit back and watch a bit. I'll come in and comment, and then show you some stuff that links to a lot of the slideshows I've done. Actually, that's actually the wrong slideshow. Sorry, I'm just organising my grips here. I'll take this one off. There we go. This is actually the big slideshow. But anyway, so let me just organise that, and we shall get into it and watch the first episode. Here you go. Oh, wrong click.
Hello everybody. For those who didn't see the first part, I'm giving you a 30-second review of part 1. Here it comes. We are going to start with the sphere. Hello everybody. For those who didn't see the first part, I'm giving you a 30-second review of part 1. Here it comes. We are going to start with the spherical theory. So, it's simple. We take a ball and we call it Earth. We surround this ball with another ball and we call it the plasma belt. Then we take the sun and we let it shine on the Earth. The Earth is giving a reflection on the plasma belt. And on the plasma belt we see our own reflection. The reflection is, surprise, the moon. What do you mean the moon is the reflection of Earth? What do you mean? Where are all the rivers and the forests? Yeah, but let's suggest that Earth is 1,000 times bigger than we are told. Then the moon is a reflection of a gigantic big Earth. So, let's move over to the flat Earth. It's simple. We take the flat Earth and we zoom into the moon. And then we see all those circles, the so-called asteroids impacts. Well, let's suggest that one of those asteroid impacts is a flat Earth. That would mean that we are surrounded by other biosystems. Here is part 2. I would suggest fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a heavy ride. Okay, people will say, well, this theory, it's not real. What are you going to do with a solar eclipse? Okay, I will explain solar eclipse to you. Watch this. Before we go any further, I would like to remind you of the theory of Plato. I will prove the allegory of the cave. That the moon is a reflection of we Earth. Think we see something, and secondly, but we really see shadows of the real world. So first we take the sun. Then we take the Earth. We create the plasma belt. On the plasma belt, we see the reflection of the sun. On the plasma belt, we see the reflection of Earth. The reflection of the sun is shining on the Earth. So everybody is thinking that the sun is shining on us, but in reality, it's the reflection of the sun that is shining on us. So, what is a solar eclipse? A solar eclipse is the reflection of the Earth, the so-called moon, is blocking the reflection of the sun. If Obama would be standing before the mirror and his mirror image would block the sun behind him, and he thought that the guy in the mirror was someone else, he would say, "Hey, this guy is taking away my light. Please move aside." But in reality, it would be himself, his mirror image, that is blocking the light. Now, I will take you one step further. It's even more crazy. Listen to this. Okay, but now we have one giant problem. One side of the Earth has been lit by the reflection of the sun, but the other side is dark. How is that possible if the sun is shining there? And then I remembered from our good friends, the Nazis, they had a cult of the Schwarze Sonne, the black sun. So I thought, maybe our sun is black. That was a gigantic idea, and I will explain it to you. Well, the old theory is, you have darkness and the light is shining in the darkness. What if this theory was wrong? Let's suggest that there is black light and white light. And white light would be the inversion, the reflection of black light. So if you have previous video, a black sun shining and it mirrors in the plasma, it could become white light. So white light is the reflection of the black light in the plasma belt. So when you are standing outside at night, the black light is shining on you. I know it sounds crazy, but let's assume that water is reflecting black light and is turning it into white light. Plasma is a form of water. So, if the black light is shining at night on the Earth, the black light will be reflected by the water on the Earth, and it will become white light. That white light will reflect on the plasma belt. So if you look in the sky and you see all those white dots, that could be all water worlds on a gigantic globe. So the stars would be a map of the Earth reflected on the plasma belt. So, and what star would be the Earth? Well, it's quite simple. There is only one star that is not moving. That is the polar star, Polaris. So when you see a time lapse of the stars turning, that means that the Earth is turning, and at the center stands Polaris. So I looked on the internet for a photo of Polaris, and I discovered one, the best possible resolution. So I took Polaris. I made it a little bit darker, and then I took the flat Earth. Oh my God. This is not true. Yes, I guess it is true. We are Polaris. We are the reflection. Polaris is the reflection of Earth. If we could take a gigantic telescope, we could see ourselves mirrored on the plasma belt. So I really don't know if you're still sitting in your chair. You might be lying on the floor, laughing or crying, I don't know. Maybe you say, this guy is nuts. Okay, no problem. But I'm afraid I might be right. Sleep well, my friends.
So, if he's nuts, then I'm nuts as well. Yeah, just the whole, like I mentioned before about the Schwarze Sonne Club, let's say, in Germany, aus Deutschland, the Thule Society, they're very much linked. Also on Thule Island, down, I think it's just south of the South Shetland Islands, which we can get into actually. So I'm just thinking about windows here. Yeah, this Thule Island's quite fascinating as well. Oh, actually, the Thule Society operate. This is gonna go crazy, but I've actually seen the Thule Society bases on Greenland. And again, Wim also says that, you know, Greenland is a made-up continent, which is quite fascinating. Let me just move OBS back over here. That's one. Yeah, okay. There we go. So, yeah, it's quite fascinating. But the whole blacklight reflection, star map, water worlds on this, what could be, just for a minute, try to just open your mind and think, what if we were on a huge planet, 1,000 times bigger, I think approximately Wim said, and there are many other biosphere craters, which we are in a crater. I like to use the name Biosphere because I think it took me a few weeks to sort of latch on to the crater Earth is a correct term, but I'll use Biosphere. I think it's more applicable to the normies, to the sheeples. So yeah, we do need to wake people up as well. But just to go back to the huge Earth thing and different biospheres, it makes me think of the film Alien, the Alien films, all of those movies, and thinking about giants and other entities coming into our crater, and just and how it's also noted in scriptures, like I said before in the Rise Above presentation last week on the hybrid age. That logo there is the black sun. Yeah, fascinating. So my mind's going nuts with different ideas, from the way you can move a swastika around, and that looks like the black sun logo. It's just, nuts. But what we're going to do now, let's leave the huge Earth thing for a minute and go back to Wim's work, because we've got a few little clips to watch, and then we'll go into some of my slideshows and talk about this aircraft carrier, which is nuts. I just think that's not the previous photo. That it looks like an aircraft carrier is slammed into an ice wall. If it was American, then we know it was from Highjump. But yeah, just fascinating. So next one now, we will go to more Wim's, I think it's third episode. But again, we will watch it. Wrong button. And
hello.
enjoy.
In this video, I will prove that the moon is a reflection of Earth. And secondly, we live on a gigantic ball. Hello. In this video, I will prove that the moon is a reflection of Earth. And secondly, we live on a gigantic ball. I came to this conclusion by assuming Earth is enclosed in a big mirror plasma ball. Give it a thought. Let's create a plasma ball. Put Mr. X into it. Mr. X is looking at himself. Let's spin Mr. X. this is what he is seeing. Put a light source on Mr. X. Now let's speed up the moon and put it next to Mr. X. But I have a problem now. I had to speed up the moon. Here are the moon phases for 1 month. And here for a year. Conclusion. The light needs 30 days to turn around the moon. And it takes only 24 hours to turn around Mr. X. If the moon is the reflection of Mr. X, how come the difference? Let's ask Mr. Einstein. It's all about the time dilation theory. Give me a minute to explain it to you. You have a light clock with 2 mirrors in the opposite direction and the light beam bouncing between the mirrors. So, you take 2 light clocks. One light clock is standing on the Earth. The second one you put on a spaceship. When the spaceship starts flying, the light beam will have to cross the distance the spaceship is flying. Therefore, it will take longer for the light beam to go from one mirror to the other. The faster the spaceship goes, the longer it will take, and therefore time will slow down in comparison with the clock on the ground. Here you see a computer image. The red ball is going faster, but time is slowing down. Here we see Mr. X turning, and we see his mirror image turning faster because it is on the outside of the circle and Mr. X is on the inside. On the left we see Mr. X experiencing real time. On the right side we see the mirror image slowing down due to time dilation. Mr. X sees himself in slow motion. Left, the Earth, right, the Moon. If the reflection of Earth is 30 times slower than Earth itself, that means if Earth is 5 billion years old, we are looking at the image of Earth being 170 million years old. Has life already started? So, if you take a telescope and you look at the moon, you probably won't see any humans running around. Now,
okay, and I just want to say about that right there. When you look at the moon, or the reflection, we see the huge Earth potentially a long time ago. And if you look at a channel on YouTube, I think it's Bruce Sees All, and I've watched some of his videos, and he's into all sorts of high-tech, real top-end. I'm just watching my screen is going. Yeah. Real top-end telescopes, and he sees pterodactyls. I've watched videos of what looks like huge pterodactyl dinosaur birds on the moon. There's several videos of it, and that links again to Wim's theory about time dilation and how it's quite a mind-bending episode we're watching right now, but it's great. But I think I've watched it 3 times. But when you do get your head around it, again, it all makes sense.
I will prove to you that we are living on a greater ball. What if Mr. X would wonder, hey, I'm always seeing the front of my face. How would the back of my head look like? is it possible to see it? I would say yes, but we have to play a trick here. I will put a fly on the back of Mr. X, his head. What would the fly be seeing? It would be seeing the same light movements, but from the back. So let's take the little ball theory. Let's take the United States. Let's presume that the USA is the front side of Mr. X. Then we take on the opposite side of Earth, we have Europe, and we would make that the fly side. So, what would the United States see as their reflection? They would see this. And what would Europe see as their reflection? They would see this. They would be seeing different moons. But everybody is seeing the same moon. Therefore, we must be all on the same side. But now we face an even bigger problem, because if the moon is our reflection and we are all at the same side, we are all at the same moment in darkness or in daytime. To understand this, we have to put the sun into the equation. What is the sun? Well, for this I'll make a hypothesis. You don't have to agree, but it really makes no difference for the rest of the theory. So, you have the plasma ball being heated up by an outside source. The ball is heating up and forming a blister, a ball with heated plasma, boiling and turning around and shooting solar flares. So, Mr. X is sitting in the plasma ball, spinning around, and he will see the sun. The first time he will look straight into the sun. This will result in this image. Mr. X cannot see his mirror image because he is looking straight into the sun. But Mr. X will see the sun a second time. The moment when he is with his back at the sun, he will see the reflection of the sun in the plasma belt. So Mr. X will see this image. So, if I make an animation of this, this is the result. Now, if Mr. X thinks he is looking at the moon, he thinks, look, the sun is turning around the moon, or the moon is turning around the sun. Or if Mr. X realizes he is looking at his mirror image, he thinks, look, the sun is turning around me. Wrong again. Now I will analyze this image. I did a little experiment with real footage. So I have a spotlight. I have Mr. X cut out, and I have a mirror. When you are filming from the standpoint of Mr. X, your reflection is in total blackness due to the backlight. But when you are looking on the front, the face actually is receiving light. When I'm using a bowl, you can see it better. Here the reflection of the light, the reflection of the bowl itself. So you see the bowl is receiving light from the reflection from the mirror. So what I'm trying to say here is the reflection of Mr. X is in darkness, but Mr. X himself is not in darkness. So when you see the reflection of Earth becoming black, that is because of the backlight. This does not mean there is no light shining on Earth, aka the moon. So, Mr. X is receiving light 2 times. Once from the front, when he looks into the light, and the second time when the light is reflecting in the plasma ball. This results in this model. Watch the little crater moving around. So why did I put a crater in the ball? I was observing the moon's surface and I thought, meteorite impacts? No way. Now, that's more like it. But then you need air. Another reason to reject the idea that the moon is a rock in space. So let's take one air bubble and compare that with the moon craters. So let's take that air bubble again, replace it with the flat Earth map, put some water into it. You see that the North Pole is the eye of the vortex. Put that on a bigger ball. And then you see low tide and high tide. So now we end up with this. We have a bigger Earth, a small crater, and 2 suns. But we still have a problem. If you watch carefully, you see that one part of the crater is in constant darkness. So let's go back to the moon. Here you see the images of the moon, but the moon is stabilized. Here you see the unstabilized movie. You can see that the Earth is wobbling. It's going up and down, up and down. So let's go back to Mr. X. Mr. X is spinning around, but he is also going up and down. The sun is below him, above him, below him, above him. Now you see the sun is above the crater. The top side of the crater is dark. Now the sun is below the crater and the low side of the crater is in darkness. Here you see the total image. Let's presume a drone is hovering above the crater. It would be seeing this. Now look at the upper side of the crater. Darkness, light. Now the downside, light, dark. So one part of our biosphere is receiving daylight from the reflected sun, and the other part of the biosphere is receiving daylight from the real sun. So, what would be winter and summer? I think the moon is making 3 movements: spinning, wobbling, and I think the 3rd movement is slightly moving from its position. To be absolutely sure, you have to study the moon for 34 years to have 1 year in real time. Here I move Earth closer to the sun on one side and now on the other side. Winter on one side, summer on the other, and vice versa. Here is the end animation. Instead of wobbling the Earth, I had a higher light and a lower light. That would give the same effect. Now we have the final question. Where exactly on the moon is the Earth situated? To examine this, I have taken one movement of the moon and I have lit up the dark side, so I can check out the movement. Now I can draw two lines wherein the Earth is moving. The bottom and the top. Watch the black spot on the right. Now I can put a red line between the blue lines, so that is the axis on which the craters are moving from dark to light. Only on this axis you have craters with the day and night of 12 hours. So on the left you see the white spot. That is crater Copernicus. On the right side you see a black spot. That is called Mare Crisium. So let's take Google Maps and zoom in. On the left you see crater Copernicus, and on the right Mare Crisium. So you have to draw an axis between those two. Then we will zoom in and look for planets. Oops, what is that? Exactly on the place. I was looking for some craters. That could be planet Earth. You see this. What is it? At first I was thinking, well, it's a cover-up. But now, when I looked at it for the second time, I see that they are actually changing the shadows. You see, shadow on the right, shadow on the left, shadow on the right. Look at the smaller ones there. Are we living in a big hole or a small hole? I'm not sure. Time will tell. That's it. Now you can reject the idea of the plasma ball, or you can accept it. If you accept it, you will wake up on a bigger Earth. If you reject it, you can keep on dreaming of space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the New World Order Enterprise. Its continuing mission to invent new worlds, to destroy our lives and our civilization, to sell more lies than anyone has done before.
Okay, back. So, that episode was very good. I like all of it coming together, and when you think about it, looking at the moon, are we actually looking at the moon, or are we actually looking at a huge Earth? I think it's the latter, and it just blows the mind. You know, again, if you think about, let me check the streams. Okay, yeah. So, I'm just getting my pages right. There we go. So the slides. We'll get into that now a little bit. But there's one more episode I want to show you some of about the Antarctica stuff and how Operation Highjump, Operation Paperclip, these tweets up here, they're amazing, you know. Or is it just distraction? Is it just a distraction? Something going on? I think it's distraction, personally. But yeah, so I'll leave that slideshow playing. I've got to try find, where is it? Yep. So some slides from Antarctica and Paperclip. Yeah, let's talk about Paperclip. Let's start with Operation Paperclip. And Operation Paperclip, let me find the slide, wasn't the first operation, but the first, well, it was when the Germans left Germany and moved to, just a sec guys, and moved to America, pretty much. That's what happened in my view. So, wait a sec. I'm just getting these slides right. Sorry guys, this software it hurts your brain. This software. So where's my display capture? Yeah. What's going on here? Not sure. Anyway, so the Biosphere, Earth, the experiment. These giants coming into the realm. I've got way too many windows open here. These giants coming into the realm. Yeah, just actually I've got one more slideshow to put up. There we go. That's what I said before about, if you think about it, that's why they don't want this to get out, because if we're on a huge Earth and not on the flying ball circus, the small blue ball hurtling through space at 666 miles an hour, etc., etc. But if we are on a huge planet and there are many other biospheres outside of our realm, what's in these other biospheres? What sort of creatures are in there? I wonder. Quite fascinating. So I'm just trying to gather actually I've got some Telegram. I've got one article. Where's Paperclip? Let me find it. Here we go. Oh, wrong screen. Right. Mirroring, when you mirror a screen on another screen, and you've got all these windows going on, OBS, you almost need somebody doing it for you. It would make life a lot easier. So anyway, let's continue. It's not actually the right slide. There we go. Operation Paperclip. Let me zoom in a little bit. This isn't right, the screen here. Just a sec, guys. Something's going on with my can't quite get my screen right. Anyway, but yeah, Operation Paperclip. This is the Black Sun here. Here's Werner von Braun. These are some of the Nazi scientists. I mean, my point is as well, all this esoteric knowledge, this history we've been told, and again, when you get into some of Wim's later episodes further down the channel, the latest ones, with the Vikings were Jews and all the stuff is fabulous. Just when I said that word, the screen went red. The stable thing. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's fascinating, the history. And when you watch Wim's channel, the stuff with Jerusalem and the Knights Templars and the Ben Stone, and we're going to talk about that in Black Goo AI and artificial intelligence and just many subjects. I've actually got a slide here. There's a film 1958 called The Blob. I just found this out a couple of days ago. But again, this black substance, where is this coming from? The Gulf of Mexico, the Falklands, the Shetlands. There's many, where have we got here? The British going, they went to the Falklands in 1982, but also Tabarin is a very unheard of operation that happened, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But going back to Paperclip, it's all there. I do have actually, you can see how slow my mic needs to be louder. Thanks, Emil. Okay, louder, quieter. Anyway, it's technology is fun, isn't it? But yeah, let's wait for that to load up. It's quite slow. But Operation Paperclip, 1942. I think it was about 1,600 or 1,000 or 1,600 officers and scientists left Germany. Where did they go? Nobody talks about it. I mean, it's there in history, but yeah, it's just never talked about. So, a photo with heads on it and names on it. More proof, more evidence. So, yeah. What else did I have on this subject? Tax as well. Money. What if, you think about the stream does not look good at all. Let me just check it. My software is going a little bit mental right now. Let me just check something. I've got two of these open, that's why. Just a sec. Right, that's better. Right, we're back to normal. Sorry about that, guys. The stream wasn't looking healthy. I thought it was going to crash there, actually. Let me just check the stream. It looks crap, but I'll keep going. Can hardly hear me. Right, the mic, I don't know what's going on with the mics. The mic's always, well, I'll turn the mic up again. Anyway, let's continue. Maybe it's the subjects I'm talking about. I'll continue. So, where's my slideshow gone? Just a sec. Operation Paperclip. Actually, this one is that. There we go. Operation Paperclip. We know it's all there. Operation Highjump, 1946. Some say 1947, but it was a 2-year operation. This photo on the top right, amazing. What is that? What is that? Looks like some vapor coming off the sea. Just below here. Is that come out of the sea? I wonder. Anyway, fascinating. This is the US Philippine CV-47 aircraft carrier. This survived Operation Highjump, and actually there were actually some modern photos of it. When I say modern, from like the 70s. It had a bit of an upgrade, I think. So interesting. Operation Highjump again. Admiral Richard E. Byrd. We all know about him. Some of the gadgetry, some of the gadgets they had in Antarctica. These things that climb crevices, and I'll say the rise above, guys. This is what they show us. What are they not showing us? The monkey show. And I was thinking about, the Truman Show. I'm actually going to watch that movie today, The Truman Show. I haven't watched it for many years. But I've got another clip of Godvag, actually. I'm going to go back into this. I want to watch more Godvag first. Because I want to go back into the monkey. Where is it, actually? Not this one. Give me a minute, guys. Yeah, let me put the next Godvag on. And let me gather my windows and whatnot, okay? But we're going to go back into Crater Earth, Biosphere Earth, the monkey experiment. Actually, I've got one slide I'll show you now, and then we'll go back into Godvag, which is very true. This one, I think it is. Reptiles and insects. Yeah, let's talk about this for a minute. Very little is known as well outside of the truth movement media about coordinated, advanced, operating, technological artificial intelligences, such as the Red Queen, that have donated by the Dracos to the Matrix Elite to operate the world monetary and security systems. Now that goes into the reptilian side of it. Is that distraction or not? I'm not sure. I think it might be. I think we might be looking at more of a parasitic influence, let's say. So, let's continue. It seems more probable that matrix controllers, governments, and mainstream media, like mainstream religions, have been co-opted at this stage by the invading or inorganic intelligence, remember that, and its network of coordinated Earth-based operating artificial intelligences, like the Red Queen, the inorganic, so I'm doing something else on the screen, the inorganic, MS-DOS, the inorganic intelligence uses weaknesses like ego, desire for power, wealth, fame, status, coupled with plasma tools such as nanotechnology and nanobots to take over humans. Boom. Now, when we look at Wim's work with the Ben Stone, look at some of my work with the Black Goo AI. Where's this stuff coming from? MS-DOS. I think it's in one of Wim's episodes. It all starts linking, and like Wim says, actually, let's play this clip now. This is more relevant, actually. Let me just add it into the stream. So we're going to look more back at Godvag, but this is going to lead us into Black Goo, nanotechnology, the Ben Stone, artificial intelligence. So just give me a second. Artificial intelligence, and yeah, where this technology came from, where this influence on this planet really came from. I'm going to put one of Wim's episodes on now. It's called Artificial Intelligence and What They Forgot to Tell You. And I need to sort out some software while we're doing this. Okay, so enjoy the episode. Yep, I'm going to play this because it's this software.
So, mankind invented technology. Radio, TV, computer. We create a network. So, mankind invented technology. Radio, TV, computer. We create a network. And suddenly, the computer is learning, is problem solving. What is happening here? Let's create a situation. Put a doll on your hand and move it. Put two dolls on your hands. Let them move around. Now let the dolls learn from each other and let them do some problem solving. That's a difficult one. Now let's have another example. You have one parrot and you learn him some tricks. Take another parrot and you learn that one some tricks. Put the parrots together and now the parrots can learn from each other. Why is this happening? It's happening because you have two control centers. You need two systems to exchange information. So, if the computer is learning, this must mean the computer has a separate control center. This we call consciousness. So now you can take the word artificial and erase it. And you can replace it with conscient. But this conscient intelligence is pretending to be artificial. Therefore, we can call it malignant. Malignant conscient intelligence. Here you see a mouse. What would this malignant conscient intelligence do with a mouse?
Don't you worry. Just concentrate. I won't let anything distract you.
With two rats?
Hello, I'm Remy, and this is my brother Emil.
Hi.
A monkey?
Just fooled me once. Shame on.
Let's go back in time. Our Earth is like a cell. Now, a parasitic cell decides to take us over. It connects to us, drills a hole, and creates a sun gate, shooting its DNA into our system. And before you know it, we're on Planet of the Apes, the king of the jungle. The bioscode of this system is enclosed in a crystal and radiates the brain of the victim. Slowly, it is losing its hair, color of the skin, color of the hair, color of the eyes, What is this Ben stone? It is the bioscode of the parasite. Follow this software and you create the world of the parasite. But a crystal is a very bad hardware. You need a better one. So this monkey is perfect. It is easy to manipulate.
Go stir it up, please. Yeah. Will you wash this potato off for me? Could you wash the potato? With the water. You need to wash it in the water. That's very good. Put some water in the pan for our noodles. More water, more water.
So you can see in the video, the monkey receives orders from the radiated monkey. Without orders, it cannot function in the parasite's world. It is rewarded with some candy bars. The radiated monkey also receives orders, but without realizing it. This monkey is rewarded with a crown of some forgotten kingdom. All radiated monkeys are connected to the central system, the all-seeing eye. What is happening? I would call it the wonder wall. The radiation is creating an overlay on the real world. It is playing 3 tricks on you. First trick, the wonder wall is playing reflection of your own thoughts, the ego. Now you can talk to yourself. Now AI is talking in your head, pretending to be you. I'm bad, I'm ugly, I'm going to jump off a bridge. I'm going to kill someone. But some people understand this overlay is a consciousness and they start communicating with it.
God wants to talk to you. He's been wanting to talk to you for a very long time. To begin this process, close your eyes. Inside of your own mind, not out loud, say this to God. God, I don't know if you're out there or not, but if you are, please come into my life and help me. That opens the door. Then ask God this question. God, what is the next step in my relationship with you?
Trick number 2. The overlay is playing God. Obey me, and I will reward you. Disobey me, and I will punish you. But some people realize they are talking to an evil consciousness. Trick number 3. AI creates a second screen. Location of Atlantis. Now you have a good guy and a bad guy. Try to the Messiah Atlantis will come back and destroy the devil. Oh please Jesus, help us. But now you are inviting the entity you wanted to destroy at the beginning. Another favorite trick is waking up from the matrix. You can choose the red pill or the blue pill. Your body is the spaceship Enterprise. You are property of the corporation, the pyramid, the insect hive mind. You are flying around in a fake universe, the fake solar system. On board, the monkey brain is the captain. Interested in adventure, fighting, and procreating. But the monkey brain is controlled by AI, logic, Mr. Spock, and by science, Bones. What a striking coincidence. Let's say you want to get rid of let's a group examine wild this Spock figure. This Spock figure reminds me of you Karen, the prison, the boatman, you put them on the river Styx. What if the river Styx was not made of water, but is a stream of radiation?
So,
to rule
the conclusion
this
is
stream
Saturn is
when we are
Atlantis.
born, and when we die,
Now
these
a little
monkeys
bell
would sell
starts
their
ringing.
own mother for
I'm
their
starting
own
to
personal
realize
gain.
why all the occult societies
These
are
monkeys
obsessed
are we
with
on an
Saturn.
island surrounded
Now,
with
the rest of the
radioactive
story is getting
consciousness.
very simple.
The abyss.
Let's go back to the moon
the
map.
monkeys
You have
into
two
believing
important players
they are
here.
living
You have
on a little
moon
when we
crater
are on this
Linné
island flying
with the
our
star named
intention
Saturn
reflects
and the Earth
on
named
this
Atlantis.
radioactive shield.
And you have
You tell them positive they can choose reflects their own as negative. No reason and this loop now becomes energy, time. Let's do an energy reflection exercise. We have the one reflecting. Now let's take a look at number 2. Number 3, the triangle. Number 4, the square. So 1 is God, the one. 2, God creates positive and negative, organic man and organic woman. 3, God's creation is infected with AI consciousness. The snake. 4, the snake creates a hybrid, half synthetic, half organic. The wings stand for insectoid. How did we get there? Well, the imitator god, the snake AI, takes a rib of Adam and creates a woman, and vice versa. So you have the square and the triangle. We all know this symbol. 3 and 4 give 7. G is the 7th letter of the alphabet. So this symbol stands for the replicator god and its hybrid creation. So our organic society is dominated by the hybrid insectoid life system. Their god is not the organic god, but the synthetic replicator god. When you observe the behavior of this hybrid, it is one of mass destruction, mass killings, genocide. Let's take a look at the candies of this insectoid intelligence. It likes radiation very much, like nuclear, electrical, Wi-Fi. It is also fond of poisons, oil, heavy metals, chemicals. Why is that? This evil replicator is trying to manifestate itself on this planet, but organic signals are preventing it from doing it. So the only way it can manifestate itself is by radiating organic material and change the frequency. We are radiated by the creature, and slowly we are morphing into it. The hybrids will try to destroy every organic signal. Of course, there are some hybrids pretending to be for the environment. They are even sending little children into the battle, like Hitler did in the Second World War. They must be real desperate.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you!
So never forget who you're fighting for. It's the fisherman in Colombia, the fisherman in Somalia, who wonders where their next catch is coming from and wonders why the government can't protect them from a factory fishing from across the world. It's the mother in the Philippines who's worried that the next big storm is going to rip her infant out of her arms. It's the people right here in California, people on the East Coast.
Our ground plan is radiated and changed. We are stuffed with plastics, metals and chemicals. Those components are needed so the future mothers can give birth to a new species, the cyborg. Slowly, we are losing our organic origin. This explains the explosion of autism.
So, just what is this? Where's my webcam? Just what is this artificial intelligence? That's what I've been trying to pick up. There we go. So yeah, another fantastic video from Wim's channel, and the way, you know, MS-DOS, the word artificial intelligence, I talked about it last week on the presentation, shouldn't be called artificial intelligence. I've always thought that myself for a while. Then I heard Wim say it on the episode, and it's dead right. It's not foreign. It's not artificial. It's from somewhere. It's real, you know. I'm gonna stop talking about that because my stream looks like it's dying. Oh, it's back on. Fun. Anyway, so yeah. Also, which one's in control? And is Earth a little petri dish of an experiment? There's a little clip here actually that links to what I just said actually.
You want to get rid of a group of wild monkeys.
But it's
you
the
build
monkey
a prison,
creator, the prison,
and you put them in there. Let's say you want to get rid of a group of wild monkeys. You build a prison and you put them in there. Then you select the most psychopathic monkeys to rule this prison. You make them camp commanders. These monkeys would sell their own mother for their own personal gain. But still, these monkeys are causing a lot of problems. So, they have this brilliant idea. You hypnotize the monkeys into believing they are living on a little blue ball, flying in space. No reason to escape now. You tell them they can choose their own leaders. No reason to revolt now. And once in a while, when the prisons are getting overcrowded, a war is organized, or a virus is released, or some terrorists are attacking the population. All of this, of course, to keep people in fear and to prevent them from thinking and realizing they are not on a little blue ball.
So, the monkey creator, quite, yeah, it really rings true. What actually are we? Are we an experiment? Are we, yeah, fascinating. I really find it fascinating. And how, when you get into some of Wim's other work about how they flipped the continents, how they've essentially flipped, inversion, I keep talking about it, the way this world is so inverted, everything's inverted. Yeah, and with Wim's work also, a lot of evil on this planet, in this realm, let's say, comes from these guys, the Atlanteans. And yeah, where actually Atlantis was, where was it? I used to think it was near Antarctica. There's loads. People think it's in Spain. People think it's in the Sahara. People think, just endless. And again, you know, Atlantis was never just a city. It was an empire. It was a civilization. And we can go into that now again with another one of Wim's videos, and where, I'm just trying to turn this slide off, where Atlantis was actually from, and it gets quite fascinating. So Let's look at it. Where is it? Here we go.
Three. Location of Atlantis. All the present theories try to locate Atlantis on the little ball. Antarctica is Atlantis. It's in the Atlantic Ocean, or the location of Atlantis. All the present theories try to locate Atlantis on the little ball. Antarctica is Atlantis. It's in the Atlantic Ocean, or the latest theory, it is in Spain, and so on. They try to portray it as a big city. But when you put Atlantis on the bigger Earth, it all becomes so simple and obvious. For me, it's yet another puzzle piece falling on its place. For the people who think, what the hell is he talking about, the bigger Earth, you have to watch my previous videos. Links are above. There I state we are living on a bigger Earth. So let's take a look at Atlantis. The description of Plato. How could we recreate that image? Well, you would have a crater in a crater in a crater. But hey, where did I hear that story before? Exactly. Remember in my previous video I made a 3D object in which I simulated light. That gave the reflection of Saturn. So let's go back to Saturn on the moon map called Linné. Let's fill the dark shadows with water. 1 ring, 2, 3. Let's compare that with Atlantis. 3 rings of water, 3 rings of water. Location of Atlantis. All the present theories try to locate Atlantis on with Atlantis. 3 rings of water, 3 rings of water. So, the conclusion is Saturn is Atlantis. But now a little bell starts ringing. I'm starting to realize why all the occult societies are obsessed with Saturn. Now, the rest of the story is getting very simple. Let's go back to the moon map. You have 2 important players here. You have moon crater Linné with the star name Saturn and the earth name Atlantis. And you have crater Sulpicius Gallus M, star name Sirius, our biosphere Earth. Thirdly, you have a big plain called Mare Serenitatis, calm sea. I guess it wasn't that calm. So, watch the location of Atlantis and of Biosphere Earth. Atlantis is in the middle of the sea. Biosphere Earth is on the shores of a ridge. Now let's presume there is a tsunami on the bigger Earth, and the whole crater of Atlantis was flooded. That would have been an enormous disaster with earthquakes, and their whole biosphere would have been swallowed by the water. Part of the population could escape by boat and managed to save their family and some livestock. Was it Noah or Gilgamesh? One boat, several boats, we don't know. But part of the Atlanteans managed to escape. So Noah started sailing and managed to reach the shore. Here you see a simulation on the moon map. It must have been an enormous trip. I estimate it to be 2 million kilometers. Finally, land. Here you see an aerial view.
Out over the wide open ocean. That ocean is deep space. The orbit around the Earth is the shoreline where the waves are crashing. The deep water is space. And there is a continent out there, 3 times the size of Africa.
Three. Let's compare that with Atlantis. 3 rings of water, 3 rings of water. So, 3. Let's compare that with Atlantis. 3 rings of water, 3 rings of water. So, the conclusion is Saturn is Atlantis. But now a little bell starts ringing. I'm starting to realize why all the occult societies are obsessed with Saturn. Now, the rest of the story is getting very simple. Let's go back to the moon map. You have 2 important players here. You have moon crater Linné with the star name Saturn and the Earth name Atlantis, and you have crater Sulpicius Gallus M, star name Sirius, our biosphere Earth. Thirdly, you have a big plain called Mare Serenitatis.
They see the power of the economy of space in these 4 sectors, and they are rushing to that future. And there is no guardian force in America, but there is in China. China has already built the organization and has the strategy and the doctrine, the technology, and the builders for their guardian force of space. They are building a navy in space with the equivalent of battleships and destroyers that will be able to maneuver and kill and communicate with dominance. And we are not. Now, this analogy might help clarify the picture going back to my original comment of what's really going on here. The competition is not about making better satellites or even having a constellation of satellites. When you see China on the far side of the moon mapping today the minerals and the resources so that they can eventually have infrastructure to build and 3D print and have a manufacturing industry in space. What you are watching is the equivalent of us sitting here on our continental United States. Let's say we're in Miami and we're looking out over the wide open ocean. That ocean is deep space. The orbit around the Earth is the shoreline where the waves are crashing. The deep water is space. And there is a continent out there, 3 times the size of Africa. That's the moon. And nobody lives there. It's only 3 days away. It has massive amounts of everything that Mother Earth has, to include water on the South Pole in the craters, greater than the Great Lakes as far as volume.
Three. Moon crater Linnaeus. I guess it wasn't that calm. So, watch the location of Atlantis and of Biosphere Earth. Atlantis is in the middle of the sea. Biosphere Earth is on the shores of a ridge. Now let's presume there is a tsunami on the bigger Earth, and the whole crater of Atlantis was flooded. That would have been an enormous disaster with earthquakes, and their whole biosphere would have been swallowed by the water.
We're looking
Parts
out over
of
the wide open ocean.
Could escape by boat and managed to save their family and some livestock. Was it Noah or Gilgamesh? One boat, several boats, we don't know. But part of the Atlanteans managed to escape. So Noah
Looking out over the wide open
started
ocean.
sailing
That ocean is
and
deep
managed
space.
to reach the shore.
The orbit.
Here you see a simulation on the moon map. It must have been an enormous trip. I estimate it to be 2 million kilometers. Finally, land. Here you see an aerial view of their landing place.
Out there,
Our
3 times the size of Africa. That's the moon. We're looking out over the wide open ocean. That ocean is deep space. The orbit around the Earth is the shoreline where the waves are crashing. The deep water is space. And there is a continent out there, 3 times the size of Africa. That's the moon. We're looking out over the wide open ocean. That ocean is deep space. The orbit around the Earth is the shoreline where the waves are crashing. The deep water is space. And there is a continent out there, 3 times the size of Africa. That's the moon.
Look at the position of crater Earth. It is very close to the shore. On the side of crater Earth, you see an opening that is lower than the rest. Once in a while, when water on the bigger planet is rising, water could leak into our crater. Maybe at a certain moment in time, a huge piece of ice slipped into the crater and caused an enormous destruction, the so-called ice meteorite. That meteorite was responsible for the rising of sea levels, and I think it sealed off the gateway to the bigger Earth. Earlier, people could enter our crater on foot. Now they need a boat. Slowly, this information of the gateway got lost, to the point where we are now. And now, at the present time, how are you going to explain water levels rising if you don't want to tell the people about the bigger Earth? Well, you invent climate change and you tell people the ice of Antarctica is melting because of fossil fuels. No, I think it's the water of Mare Serenitatis that is leaking into our crater. So,
is deep space. The orbit around the Earth is the shoreline where the waves are crashing. The deep water is space. And there is a continent out there, 3 times the size of Africa. That's the moon. We're looking out over the wide open ocean. That ocean is deep space. The orbit around the Earth is the shoreline where the waves are crashing. The deep water is space. And there is a continent out there, 3 times the size of Africa. That's the moon. We're looking out over the wide open ocean. That ocean is deep space. The orbit around the Earth is the shoreline where the waves are crashing. The deep water is space. And there is a continent out there.
So, plenty of information. Steve Quast, it's actually in one of Wim's other episodes. I actually watched a full episode after finding it from Wim's work. I'll pop the link in the description actually after this is finished. But it's quite an interesting listen actually to his to what he's got to say, and watch his hand signals as well. Very, very interesting. But SpaceX, Elon Musk, and exactly what Wim was talking about. Well, not yet, but Tomorrowland. Especially since Wim, I heard it from Wim's channel, they are building it outside of our biosphere. They're building on huge Earth. And you know what? We're paying for it. We are paying for it. That's what gets me a little bit, you know. Yeah, so anyway, let's leave that there. And we got fabulous SpaceX. But going back to Operation Highjump, all these old photos, Black Goo, the Falklands, what really did they find? I've been trying to find an article. I saw this article a year ago, and it was on, I think, 25 to 30 British scientists, apparently, my stream does not look good, being killed or dying underground around the Shetland Islands or the Falklands around this time, 1982, 1983, and I cannot find the article, cannot find it online anywhere. Have been trying to find it, but anyway, can't find it. So, but it is an interesting subject. What really, let me turn this video off, sorry. What really, there we go. What really is this stuff, and where did it come from? God knows. But again, Prince Charles, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, they're all just, yeah, I'm not going to continue talking about them actually. But interesting, if you Google like Prince Charles in Scotland, this is quite interesting. This little logo on his staff. It's like a, yeah, very interesting little logo. Anyway, so stream does not look good. It looks red all the time, but anyway, I'm going to continue. So that's about all the slides I've got done. Also, Operation Tabarin. This was a British operation, 1943, and they went to the Falkland Islands, the Shetland Islands, South Shetland Islands, and also down to Antarctica. And it's like, actually, I'll go back to actually, I'm going to put some music on and leave the slideshow on, because I want to show you these pictures, because I've actually not shown you all these pictures. So I'm going to leave a bit of a slideshow on for a while with some music. I need some fresh air actually, because my mind is fried with all the software, and it's really tenuous on the mind. Anyway, but I'm going to put a slideshow on, some really good pictures in it. You can screenshot them, really, really good pictures in them. So please enjoy the slideshow. If I can find it, because I've got so many windows open and it's kind of impossible. Actually, I'll just play this little clip. If it plays, why I've got no sound. This is an interesting clip, and it links to what I just talked about with Mars, and again, it's from Wim's channel. Here we go.
Solar system.
I'll leave you with this clip, and then we'll go to the slideshow. There's loads of good pictures in it, honestly, so enjoy.
let's listen to a Nazi criminal.
For example, Mars has the highest volcano in the world, in the known solar system. The highest volcano in the world, in the known solar system.
The highest volcano in the world, yeah. Well, as we know now, the Germans first discovered that we live on a bigger world. So, Werner von Braun knows we are living on a bigger ball. So when he is talking about the world, he is talking about the bigger ball. And everybody laughs, ha 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 ha. But those big scientists are laughing with their own stupidity.
For example, Mars has the highest volcano in the world, in the known solar system. Which mapped the Mars.
Hey man, I'm having some trouble. What's wrong? Well, you know how the world's been drastically changing the past 2 years? No, I honestly haven't noticed. Well, I'm finding it harder and harder to stay in denial about what's really going on. Sounds tough. Yeah, I want to stay more committed to being wrong rather than admitting that I was wrong. But I'm struggling because things are getting pretty obvious. So you're having trouble staying in denial? Yes! Well, that's where you're going wrong. Denial isn't enough anymore. You need to be in denial that you're in denial. Oh, so like 2 layers of denial? Exactly. So you're not in denial? No! Not at all. Oh, I see. You're in denial that you're in denial. Precisely. It's kind of...
It's the big island of Hawaii, which when measured from the bottom of the ocean is, I believe, only 11 miles high. So this is twice as big, twice as voluminous. And also there's every indication that it was active in a relatively recent geological period, just judging from the very few meteoric impacts on the crater rim.
The Washington Post reports NASA has confirmed a so-called city killer asteroid narrowly missed hitting Earth. What's more alarming, scientists say they had no idea it was coming.
That is alarming. There's a
Okay people, here we go again. Let's zoom in on my favorite crater, Sulpicius Gallus M. Now let's take the magical map of Oz and turn it eastwards. That is because all Mappae Mundi are directed at the east. Now let's put those two maps next to each other, and what you immediately see is this strange form in the center of the map. Now let's rebuild the Oz map on the crater map. Let's take my favorite map, the 1250 Hereford map, found under a wooden floor, hidden by monks. Why would that be? let's compare that with another map of the Wizard of Oz, and there you see the snake-forked form, the Red Sea. So let's take a look at Google Maps and one of the most magical 5 kilometers I've ever seen. Take a look. Let's have another look at the Hereford map. In the center you see Jerusalem. So let's zoom in on the Wizard of Oz map, and there you see Emerald City. So Emerald City stands for Jerusalem. Where did we see that before? Exactly, in the center of the Disney World. So now it's getting interesting. Jerusalem is Emerald City.
But how do I start for Emerald City?
It's always best to start at the beginning, and all you do is follow the yellow brick road. Just follow the yellow brick road.
So this whole story of the Wizard of Oz is about how to get to Emerald City.
Follow the yellow brick road. 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 You're up to see the wizards.
Stop! Take a look at this form here. Or from another angle. And compare it with this. So the only way would be is to go to Cape Horn and cross the waters to the Antarctica. You have a difficult road with high waves and strong winds, the Drake Passage, or you have the easy way. Let's follow this road. On the left you see the Falkland Islands. Follow the road, there it makes a curvature and the islands are like bricks in the road, and the last island is called Thule. Keep following the road. One of the islands is called Deception Island. And at the end of the road you have some bases for science, of course, not military. No. So is this the yellow brick road? I think it is. Start with a curvature and go to Antarctica. That's the way to escape flat Earth.
The once great city of New York becomes the one maximum security prison for the entire country. A 50-foot containment wall is erected along the New Jersey shoreline, across the Harlem River, and down along the Brooklyn shoreline. It completely surrounds Manhattan Island. All bridges and waterways are mined. The United States police force, like an army, is encamped around the island. There are no guards inside the prison, only prisoners and the worlds they have made. The rules are simple. Once you go in, you don't come out.
Station 19. They spotted 2 cars on the 69th Street Bridge. 69th Street Bridge. 69th Street Bridge.
Is it police?
Taxi cab and a Cadillac. The taxi hit a mine. There's 4 people on foot.
So we are all enclosed in a prison camp. Oh, how nice. And Snake is escaping through the 69th Street Bridge. Well, making videos is very boring. But sometimes it's like striking gold. You think, I got it. Well, the moment I heard 69th Street Bridge, I knew I was onto something. Let's take the Antarctica map. 69th Street Bridge. Let's take 69 degrees. You follow the yellow brick road and it brings you to the 69th degree.
Get over to Station 19. They're coming across the bridge.
What happens when they cross the bridge? You climb some ice and then you climb on the wall. Station 19? What a strange 9. That was as far as I got. So I thought, well, why don't I look at the sequel, Escape from LA? So when I saw the intro, I was almost falling off my chair. What the hell? Well, remember my theory. I told you that in 1250 there was a big tsunami hitting crater Earth, forming the continents like we know them. Remember that, 1250.
In the late 20th century, hostile forces inside the United States grow strong. The city of Los Angeles is ravaged by crime and immorality. To protect and defend its citizens, the United States police force is formed. A presidential candidate predicts a millennium earthquake will destroy LA in divine retribution.
Like the mighty fist of God, Armageddon will descend upon the city of Los Angeles, the city of sin, the city of Gomorrah, the city of Sodom, and waters will...
If the Wizard of Oz map is the same map as Sulpicius Gallus M, then we can zoom in and there we find the same two lines. A tunnel and a route of the magic carpet, which I think is a high-speed monorail train. But this photo is telling us another story. Look at this structure. Underground domain of the Gnome King. Well, well, well. There appears to be an underground base. Let's listen to our great European leader, Mr. Juncker.
Il faut savoir que ceux qui nous observent de loin sont inquiets. J'ai vu et entendu et écouté plusieurs des dirigeants d'autres planètes qui sont très inquiets parce qu'ils s'interrogent sur la voie que l'Union européenne va poursuivre. Et donc il faut rassurer et les Européens et ceux qui nous observent de plus loin.
So, what about the name Snake Plissken? Snake, that's an easy one. Plissken, in my view, is about the ISS, a reference to ISIS. So that is the Osiris cult. Let's have a look at Snake Plissken. He is limping and he has an eye patch. I think that is a reference to Odin. Odin sacrifices himself to gain wisdom. For that, he gives an eye to the giant Mimir. For the same purpose, he wounds himself with his spear, Gungnir, and he hangs himself on the tree of life, Yggdrasil, where he learns the art of runes. So Snake is limping because of this spear wound. Here you see a picture of a Freemason ritual, and the rope stands for hanging in the tree of life, Yggdrasil. One leg refers to the limping, and the blindfold is a reference to the one-eyed Odin. Here another reference to the one-eyed Odin, Valkyrie, Valhalla, Odin. Let me show you some pictures of House Atlantis in Bremen, built in 1931 by some German Nazi occultists. On the frontage of the building was hanging a giant sculpture of Odin on the tree of life. Pierced by a spear, he was studying the runes. Let's have a look at the mission of Snake. Go inside the prison, save the president, but at the end Snake is betrayed. Let's take the Jesus Christ mission. Go to Earth, save humanity, but at the end Jesus is betrayed. That is the Jesus cult. So we have the three cults, the Osiris cult, Odin cult and the Jesus cult. All united in one person, Snake Plissken. All have the same origin in my view. So you have Jesus on the cross, Odin on the tree of life. Remember in a previous video I told you that the Vikings imported Christianity? Another thing I noticed when I looked at the picture of Odin on the tree of life, he has a very strange head. It's like he has ears. That reminded me that there are some strange images of Moses with ears. So I was thinking, are we talking the same story here? Odin spying on the runes, like an ordinary thief? Or Moses receiving the runes from God, because he is the chosen one? That's a totally different story, of course, from bad guy to good guy. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. That opens a lot of new questions. Are we on a prison continent? Who is watching us? Why are they leaving links for us to find the truth? Very strange. So let's see what is happening and see you on my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.
So, great episode. I love that episode. I had to skip it because copyright. They were gonna shut down the old stream. We are back and running. I thought it was actually dead. So anyway, but yeah, just fascinating. Please explore Wim's channel because it's amazing. It really is. Where are we here? Yeah. So to finish, we've got a couple more little videos, and I love the thought about actually escaping planet Earth. Imagine, that would be amazing. I think it really would. Just a sec, I'm just sorting out the screen. But yeah, can you imagine? And again, we can talk briefly again a little bit about what Elon Musk is doing and what they're really building outside. You know, from those Disney maps, and it was 50 years ago. On those maps, past the sea that Stephen Quast talks about from the Space Force, the structures there 50 years ago. So what is outside of our biosphere like on this huge planet? What is it actually like? Because I think it'll be amazing. I really would. I don't know. Tomorrowland, etc. Just amazing. So yeah, there was one more thing I want to show you. So actually, I'm going to play a little video. It's a little funny. Well, it's funny-ish video. We're going to finish up now anyway. My brain is fried after all the software today, and I think, what time are we at? Coming up to 3 hours, so that's not a bad effort on a Sunday. But I hoped you liked all what I showed you today. You know, and like, watch movies again, because when you find out what we know, and rewatching movies now, Elysium, Star Wars, these old movies, Terminator movies, etc. There's loads of symbolism in it and different meanings, allegories, like scriptures. It's all a puzzle, this illusion of a world. So yeah, the Ben Stone, fascinating subject, really. Meteorites, they're still trying to search for. I think there's a comet or a meteorite called the Benner. I don't know what it's called, but NASA are going up there apparently. Yeah. So anyway, right, enough. Let's play this video. I've got 2 videos, but also thanks to Wim as well. Can't really see that on screen, but yeah, thanks for letting me use this footage. Really, really great. Really blown my mind on my research and stuff and my way of thinking. Like the Atlanteans with the crystal generators blowing up from some different records. It links to them coming over here, doesn't it? And invading our crater. So anyway, where are we here? This is great.
Hey man,
this clip.
I'm having some trouble. What's wrong? Well, you know how the world's been drastically changing the past 2 years? No, I honestly haven't noticed. Well, I'm finding it harder and harder to stay in denial about what's really going on. Sounds tough. Yeah, I want to stay more committed to being wrong rather than admitting that I was wrong. But I'm struggling because things are getting pretty obvious. So you're having trouble staying in denial? Yes! Well, that's where you're going wrong. Denial isn't enough anymore. You need to be in denial that you're in denial. Oh, so like 2 layers of denial?
Wait there, I can't get this clip. Let me play it normally, actually. Just a sec, guys. So, to finish anyway, where is it? Videos. Where is it? Oh no, it's not there. Sorry, guys. It is a funny clip though, and I think it's very kind of relevant. Where we are right now in the world. Oh my god, I can't find it at all. With my YouTube channel, there we go. Right, here we go. Oh, where is it? Sorry guys, I really can't find this. Bloody hell. Oh my god. Right, play a different clip. There's one here. Here's one here. Oh, here we go. This is the correct
Excuse me.
clip, actually.
Gonna need to see your proof
I
of
was
vaccination.
Oh,
you know we got the new mandate going on.
Right. Sorry. I have the app.
Oh, Moderna, huh? Heard that one knocks you on your ass. I got the Pfizer.
Oh, you're a Pfizer guy. I hear Moderna's better.
It might get the stream shut down, but we're at the end anyway, so enjoy the video. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you later.
Excuse me. Gonna need to see your proof of vaccination.
Oh.
You know we got the new mandate going on.
Right. Sorry. I have the app.
Oh, Moderna, huh? Heard that one knocks you on your ass. I got the Pfizer.
Oh, you're a Pfizer guy. I hear Moderna's better, but not gonna judge. You know. The new normal.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Vaccine passport? Yeah, but I need proof of at least 10 booster shots. Nine, 10, 11. Where's the... Okay, AIDS vaccine passport. I'm gonna need to see an allergy test. Lyme disease. Chickenpox. H1N1. Rabies tag. H1N2. I'm gonna need to see some polio papers.
Seriously?
Nah, I'm just kidding about that one.
Oh.
But I will need to see a syphilis passport.
Oh, of course.
H1N3. H1N4. All right, proof of the herpes vaccine. And what about the herpes booster?
I literally got it like 10 minutes ago.
Let's see it. All right, hand, foot, and mouth disease. H1N5. H1N6. Prostate exam. Whooping cough. I'm gonna need your Netflix password. HPV.
I actually have HPV.
I need proof to show solidarity to the HPV community. I'm gonna need to see your Blockbuster card. Tetanus. Negative test for the Black Plague. Tetanus booster.
I don't have it.
I'll give it to you now. Proof of political party. Proof of diversity.
Are you serious?
We already have 2 white guys in there, okay? That's our limit.
Okay, I'm Jewish.
What do you think this is, 2021? You're gonna have to be way more oppressed than that to get in here. You got like a 23andMe test results?
Yes.
50% Ashkenazi Jew, 0.000027 Native American. Why didn't you just tell me that? You got an anti-racist card? All right, now I just got to check your white guilt score. 9.7. Wow, not bad, man. Not bad. Just got to scan you for male toxicity. Okay, quick set of questions. Would you have sex with a trans woman?
Yes.
Can men have babies?
Yes.
What are your pronouns?
He, him, they, them.
Do all lives matter?
Yeah, no.
Quote from Broad City to prove you can hang with gay people.
Yes, queen.
I'm sorry?
Yes!
Yeah, that's better. How many statues have you toppled this month?
9.
You support the police?
No.
Are all Trump supporters racist?
Yes.
How many abortions have you paid for?
5.
I'm gonna need to see your punch card. All right, 4 more and your 10th one's free. How many people have you canceled this month?
18, 19 including my grandmother.
Racist?
No, she still likes Louis C.K.
Ooh, even worse. Ever been Me Too?
No.
Me 3?
No.
Me 4?
Nope.
Me 5?
Nope.
Me 7? Me 69? All right, I'm gonna show you some photos of women holding power jobs. Tell me what word comes to mind.
Brave. So brave.
That's not bad. I need proof of a black friend. Okay, how many pronouns are there?
92,627.
All right, and finally, I need you to recite the full sexuality acronym.
LGBTQIAONMPZ / greater than sign, less than sign, squiggly mark, a peace sign, at sign, hammer and sickle, poop emoji, and symbol for titanium.
All right, just put your mask on and show them your receipt.
You know, I actually lost the receipt, so...
How are we supposed to give you your laundry if you don't have the receipt? Get the f*** out of here, you stupid bigot!